morning, I'm J. Lenora Bressler, and welcome to the June 16, 2017 edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details. In Psalm 109, verses 1 to 2, the psalmist says, "O God, in whom I praise, do not be silent, for wicked and deceitful men have opened their mouths against me and are lying about me." You know, there's something, I think, very human, and I think we get it directly from being made in the image of God, about injustice. We chafe under it when it happens to ourselves, and we find it offensive when we see it about others. And perhaps there is no greater injustice that we feel so keenly as when it is our honor and our name, our characters, which are being maligned. You know, when we think of the great King David, we think about everybody loving him and supporting him, but that is not true. King David, who himself is known as a man after God's own heart, even he, a favorite of the Lord, you might say, was not spared the injustice of people lying about him and trying to bring him down. You know, it's interesting, but as I grow older and older, I hear from so many friends and family members and even acquaintances about injustice that they have suffered, especially where just downright lies have been said about them. And it's very, very hard to take. And it is so easy for people to say, "God, why? Why would you let this happen?" I think many of us, you know, we may not like it, but we can get our minds around suffering for things that we've brought on ourselves. It does seem fair. It seems just. But for things that we did not do, really, God? You're going to let especially those of us that believe in you and trust in you suffer like that? You know, David was maligned, not only by people that didn't know him very well, but in the keenest cut of all, by people that knew him very well. King Saul, who should have loved him like a son. After all, his own son, Jonathan, loved David like a brother, and he had every reason to love him. He had saved the country. He had saved Saul's very kingship when he defeated Goliath and showed nothing but faithfulness. But it was more than that. The lies even came up within his own family as Absalom turned against him and lied to the people about his father, thereby trying to usurp the crown. You know, when these things happen to us and we rail against injustice, it's all right. I think it's right that we should. In fact, if we didn't, I think there'd be something wrong with us. But we can comfort ourselves that this is part of the fall. This is part of living in a sinful world with sinful people, including ourselves, who may at times have been guilty of saying a word here or there that we should not have, that might have besmirched someone's character unjustly. There are many Psalms by David in which he cries out to God that he feels he is being unjustly used. There's nothing wrong with that. Just be sure you do what King David did. And go to God. Pour out your heart. And he will, at some point, vindicate you. And in case you think he's taking too long about it, or he's putting you through too great a trial, just remember, is there anyone else in the history of mankind who has been more maligned by more people than God himself? Even today, even right now, there are people maligning the character of God. You think he doesn't know what that feels like? My friends, there's no one who knows better. I'm J. Lenora Bressler. Visit me tomorrow on the next edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details. Have a great day.